Welcome to episode 4 of the Paper and Plastic Show with your host, Osman Hameed, recording from the beautiful Ocean Ridge Studios in Toronto, Canada. Today, we're going to be talking about sustainability. This is a word that always gets overly discussed, and sometimes it's one of those cliche words now that sustainability, if you want to be sustainable, it's become like a buzzword, but it does not mean that it's not super important, super essential. And that's why today's episode, that's going to be the theme of today's episode. So there's a company called Tetra Pak that makes your juice boxes and all of your milk cartons. They're called Tetra Pak, and the material is also called Tetra Pak because they patented this material many years ago. If you buy a juice box, it looks like this on the inside, and this sort of material that it protects your liquids and food and drink products. If you were to pour milk or water or drinks inside a material paper container, at some point it'll begin to seep out. So Tetra Pak was able to find a very cool and patented way to keep that material on the inside. They put like a foil sort of mylar layer inside the material to keep that liquid inside. They're world acclaimed, world famous. Everybody knows Tetra Pak. If you don't, look at your juice box next time and look at the flaps on the sides. You'll see a small Tetra Pak logo, almost universal on your apple juices, mango juices that you give to the kids, or any of your milk cartons, particularly in Europe, but also here in North America. So anyhow, so Tetra Pak recently announced that they're investing 40 million euros. That would be about like what? Nowadays, their currency rate, maybe about 41, 42 million USD to enhance their recycling of their cartons, global cartons. Talk about putting money where your mouth is. And that's what the actual answer to sustainability is. I just use paper straws, so therefore I'm changing the world. Put money where your mouth is and actually look at how can we reuse our material and how can we get material that was previously not being able to recycle into material that we can reuse. This material over here, typically, historically, it was not recyclable. It's very hard to recycle this material, just how it's formed. It can't be repulped and made into new paper. That's really cool information that hopefully they can find a good solution for it. We use so many resources that we're almost ignorant to the fact that we are utilizing so many resources for our very, very small conveniences. We drink water bottles, we use cell phones, we buy furniture. Everything we buy in North America, the culture is almost forced that it's a one-time use. You go to McDonald's and they'll give you a paper cup that you'll use for just 20 minutes and you'll trash it. They'll give you a paper bag for your fries. You'll use it for 20 seconds and you'll trash it. We have Tim Hortons here. This cup, I will drink the coffee and I'll trash it. And then sometimes you have multiple friends in the car. They'll give you a small tray. And that tray is just used to grab the 4 cups from the drive-thru, put it in your car, give each person their cup, and trash the tray. Only used for 25 seconds. So it's like these small things that we're just accustomed to, that we think is normal, that we just use for 25 seconds and dispose of. Is almost toxic because we don't even think about the waste that we're doing, but also a detriment to the environment, to society as a whole. And it's causing issues because now you have this global warming crisis happening. You find out a lot of countries are struggling because their greenhouse gases emissions are over, carbons everywhere. You know, there's so many negatives that are happening to it, but we're not cognizant of the fact that we're using single-use materials. And that's the real problem over here, that why not look for ways to reuse and reduce our consumption and find ways to put material back in the cycle. And even if you're going to have one-time use plastics or paper, find ways that you can put it back into a recycling stream. I would have no issue using those trays from Tim Hortons if we knew that those trays were going to always make it back into new paper, because paper and plastic is actually very much recyclable. You can reuse them many times, but if that system exists for that material to be recycled. I'm guilty. We have some plastic bottles in the office. I understand there's a convenience to them. I'm not saying ban plastic bottles. There is a use case for them, but making one plastic bottle uses about 2 liters of water and 1/4 of a liter of oil to create. That's shocking. So to carry 500 mLs of water, you got to first spend 2,000 mLs of water and 250 mLs of oil to create this plastic bottle. And then not just that, you use it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and that's it. It's gone. Isn't that crazy? It's wild. And the thing is, I'm guilty, you're guilty, we're all guilty in the room, because that's how society is created. And unless we start making fundamental differences and we start making changes at a fundamental level, that's not going to ever go away. So I think we got to be thinking about recycling. Recycling is 1 ton of plastic. That means that 1 ton is about 2,000 pounds. You would save 645 liters of oil and about 1,535 liters of water. Recycling is a way to go. We can get these plastic bottles. These are PET bottles. Shred them, melt them down, and make new plastic out of them. And that's what we got to do. So that segues perfectly into today's video of the day. So the team has pulled a video from me. It's called the paper making process using waste paper. Okay, that's what we do, Ocean Ridge. And it's by Gloss on TikTok. So let's load up that video and let's check it out. Okay, so they have this well and they're just dumping it all in. Dumping it all in there. Boom. Shredded paper, mixed paper. Look at the webs over there. Whoa. Where is this place? And it's going through, getting filtered. On the barrel. It's a paper mill. They made a paper mill. I wasn't sure what it was until wow. That's so beautiful, man. Ingenious. They made a paper mill. I wasn't and they got the guillotine. Fixing the edges, trim, and I'm assuming all the trim probably go back in the mixer to get repulped again. Beautiful. Well done. Well done. Now, see this company, it's probably not labeled as like a paper mill overseas. They probably maybe they have a different name for it. By European or Western standards, oh, this can't be a paper mill. A paper mill needs this. They're drying the paper on the field. That doesn't make sense. They don't have steamer. They don't have... Guys, at the end of the day, it works, right? We got to be thinking about sustainability different. There's 1 billion people that live in the Western world. That's the North America and Europe. And 7 billion that live elsewhere that don't always have the same resources. I'm not saying every country is the same way, but there's a lot of places that don't have the resources to use and create paper the same way we do. But that doesn't mean they're not being creative about it and finding those creative solutions. End of the day, the goal is very simple. We have to first focus on reuse, then you got to focus on reduce, and then you got to focus on recycle. Some say reduce first. Sure. Reduce, reuse, and then recycle. Sometimes we're so caught up in just one-time use and landfill. That's the wrong approach. It's the wrong way. Sustainability is the way to go. At Ocean Ridge, we're a huge fan of sustainability and finding creative ways to turn one man's trash into another man's treasure. Thank you. That was episode 4. We're going to see you in episode 5. This is going to be a daily thing. You're about to see a lot of us. We're trying to make recycling cool again, and we want you guys to be part of the journey to help us make it happen. Take care.